Hi guys, welcome to GladrapChannel.
All right, folks, welcome. Dare to be great. We've got a Super 8 tournament here tonight. Isaac Savage, GladrapChannel. With me, the champ himself, Shay, Mr. Business Brock. Welcome to this night of fight, Shay.
His opponent making his way to the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, here comes Jack James.
Yeah, thanks, Isaac. Yeah, we've been treated here tonight. 3 great fights to start us off, warming up the mic for us with just these 3 great fights. We're only a couple of fights away from the main tournament.
I am looking forward to every single fight this 8-man delivers tonight. But first up now, we've got Jack James in the blue and Romano Isaia in the red. Jack James coming to the ring now via the escalator. Jack James there, topless, in the blue with the blonde hair, and Romana in the red corner there with the red singlet, red headgear.
This is a corporate professional boxing competition, ladies and gentlemen. Corporate, middleweight, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He has his ring wearing red trunks with white trim, weighing in at 70.5 kgs. Give it up for Romano Isaia. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, enters the ring wearing solid black trunks, weighing in at 72.5 kgs. Give it up for Jack James. Into the rounds of the bell rings, Andrew Bailey's your referee in charge.
Once again, we're seeing a headgear option here, Shay, just like before. Didn't work out for the previous fight of the headgear, but are we going to see something different in this fight, you think?
Well, Romano's wearing, you know, the amateur style ones, the competition amateur headgear. Oh, what am I trying to say?
It looks a bit lighter.
Style.
Yeah, it doesn't have much of the other guard was quite a full guard. This
Yeah,
one's
there's
quite
an
light.
open face, and so you can see a little bit more. And like we were alluded to before, you know, the protection and just that peace of mind that you get that extra padding from the punches.
Yeah, look, it doesn't, you know, like we talked about the last fight with the headgear being quite restrictive. Romano doesn't look restricted at all. He's looking tight. He's looking sharp.
Yeah, nice light on his toes and moving those angles just ever so slightly.
Looking at the size of them too, though, it's hard to believe they came in the same weight. I'm picking Jack James, who walks around a bit heavier than old Romano. He looks just slightly more built, and I'm saying he probably is about 4 to 5 kg in this. Would you agree, Shay?
There's got to be a couple. I mean, you got to consider the weight loss process as well. You know, maybe he stripped a lot for this fight, whereas Romano was a little bit more comfortable in weighing in. Oh, he just cops a good jab there as well.
Very, very tidy, busy first round here. You know, one of those ones, you know, we talked about the judges having to work for it tonight, and this first round certainly making it a little bit challenging for them, isn't it?
Oh, nice movement and good uppercut. He set that up off their movement. You know, step back, set up with the footwork, come back with the uppercut, and there again.
You know, he's slipping, he's coming forward, he's jabbing and getting out. But the beauty of his boxing tonight is 101, isn't it? He's certainly applying the basics, but doing them really, really well.
Yeah, well, I like Romano what he's doing. He's, you know, just on his toes, keeping his opponent, you know, changing those angles and off balance, just slightly off balance, and then when he wants to strike.
He certainly got clocked a couple of times too, so
yeah,
I guess the difference when you're watching the pro boxing versus the amateurs, you rack up those points with all the shots you hit. What are the judges looking for tonight? Are they looking for the power shots, or are they looking for a volume of shots tonight? It's hard to say which judge looks at what, right?
Yeah, well, like I was saying, I like the work that Romano was doing in the red there. He's just, I think he relaxed a little bit, or not necessarily relaxed, but, you know, he lost that concentration or focus momentarily there and started getting caught. Because what he was doing, you know, like I said, he was keeping him off balance and striking when, you know, at will.
He certainly looked the speedier of the two too. Jack James has the power, but Romano has the speed, the skill to win this fight. This is why it makes it such an interesting fight, right? They say styles make fights.
Yep. And Jack James, obviously the bigger of the two.
Seconds out for round 2.
Just I like his tactics there of moving around and keeping him offset.
Round 2.
Just as we talked about, both boys going for it. Romano and Jack throwing down. Romano said to himself, I'm sick of this, I'm going to get you back.
He's got good hand speed too, and he's landing those shots straight down the middle as Jack James comes in. And Jack James is trying to stalk his opponent, throw him down and let his hands go. Romano doesn't want to let his opponent set himself either, because that's just like that, that's when he starts to land his shots.
That's the thing though, sometimes a guy can be stalking a fighter, but if the fighter's more skilled, it's not really going to work out for them because all they're going to do is walk into punches.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Romano's going to have to keep up these angles. And oh, nice body
those
work
body
there
shot
as well.
and a little sneaky uppercut there just as they come off the clinch from Jack James. I am loving the work rate. You know, you're right. Romano's got a velocity of something else. You know, the work rate's high. He's throwing punches and bunches. But he is starting to get clipped now and then from Jack James.
Exactly, and it is towards the end of the round, so maybe a little bit of fatigue from the constant movement. He just needs to stay sharp, stay on his game plan. Because when he's on his toes and changes those angles, that's when he's working. He's keeping his opponent offset, and he's not able to throw those big power punches like he did just there.
And this is what I love about corporate boxing. You know, the guys just go for it. These 12-rounders, these longer distance fights, they can cruise. They can sort of get into the feel of things. These guys are just going from 0 to 100 right from the get-go.
Now we see Romano starting to come forward now. Maybe he senses that his opponent is starting to wear a little bit from all the movement. Oh, just as I
said that.
He finds a lane straight down the middle and oh!
The commentator's curse. As you said that, Jack James came through a few of his own. I still feel Romano could be slightly ahead of this depending on the way the judges are looking at this.
Absolutely. Like every other fight, it is subjective to what the judges think. And yeah, if they like that work that Jack James done at the end there, I mean, he's landing big shots, flush on the chin.
You know, in saying that, with the shots that have been landing flush on the chin, they haven't actually really stumbled Romano. He just sort of kept coming forward.
But they seem to buzz him a little bit. But then I think he obviously looks fit and in shape, so he recovers quite well.
And as you know, Shay, fitness can sometimes be one of the only things that does win you the fight in a sense. Toughness goes out the window, especially when you start getting tired in those later rounds, right?
Well, I've learned that the hard way more than enough times.
I bet. And hey, there's nothing too more powerful than winning a fight on fitness when you can see the other guy gassed, you're totally refreshed, you've got energy, and he's starting to go downhill.
That's the thing, we were just talking about this at training this week. When we were all just training together doing our exercises, and I could sense everybody else slowly starting to die off, and that encouraged me to want to push a little bit harder, and we were just in the gym, you know what I mean? So I think that's the same when you're in the ring. When you sense that your opponent is starting to fade a little bit, that's when you pick up the next gear, give it everything you got left.
Just as you said there, Shay, looking at both these fighters now, Jack James and Romano, both of them, no one looks more gassed than the other. They're both coming forward.
Yep.
You know, some fights struggle to go 3 rounds. You can see the guy or girl does not want to go, you know, a second after the second round. However, these guys look like they could go a few more rounds of 3 tonight.
Yep, and I like the work of Romano. He does get a little bit slack every now and then, gets caught, but he just needs to keep up that footwork because Jack James is landing some bombs on him when he catches him.
He sure is, and that's what the judges could be looking at tonight as well, you know.
Nice flush uppercut there as well, straight to the guard. There we
Look
go.
at the way though, he's slipping, he's moving. He's
Yep.
got real good movement, Romano. Getting out of the way of those punches, jabbing in and out. He might be smaller of the two, but he's a bit more nimble than Jack, isn't he, Shay?
Yeah. It looks like he's got a lot of experience actually, or not a lot, but like he has, you know, more than what we're used to, and maybe he gave up a bit of weight for experience for this fight. And both
What a
landing
way.
big shots of their own at the same time. Either of them could have gone on their last one, but you know they had both got caught. So
You could be right with that info there, Shay. You know, sometimes you do give up a bit more weight if you do have the experience, and that was a fantastic fight. Romano came for the skill and will, but Jack James never gave up, and he could have lights out Romano with any one of those shots. Romano just had the fitness.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of corporate super middleweight boxing action, read from the judges' scorecards for decision, where we find a unanimous decision winner. Your winner fighting out of the red corner, Romano Isaia.
There you have it, folks. Romano took out that fight there over Jack James. What a fight it was. Romano certainly had the skill, pace, and speed that edged him forward in that fight, but was brilliant to watch. And Jack James was certainly entertaining, landing those power shots from time to time.